Last section was about parabolas. This section's all about circles. And the standard equation for a circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. That's something you want to write down. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. And the most important thing here is that r is the radius. Not r squared, but r. So if you were able to find r squared, then you just take the square root to find the radius. So an example of this might say something like graph y squared equals minus x squared plus 36. The first thing you have to do is get that in standard form. So y squared plus x squared equals 36. We're just going to add that x to the other side, the x squared, because now it's in the form x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So because we know that r squared equals 36, r equals the square root of 36, or just 6. So we're going to start from the center, draw a radius out 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in all directions. And this equation is going to give us a circle like this with a radius of 6. One more quick example. It'll say graph this. First thing you got to do is get it in standard form. This time it's not a problem that the x squared and y squared are on the same side. It's a problem that there's numbers in front of them. So what we're going to do is divide everything by 4. In this way we can get rid of all the numbers in front of x and y. We're just going to divide everything by 4. So we get x squared plus y squared equals 128 divided by 4, which is 32. Now we can find the radius. Remember, this is the r squared term, so if we want to find the radius, we do r squared equals 32. Take the square root. R is equal to the square root of 32. That's something we're probably going to have to simplify a bit. So 32 is made up of 2 times 4 times 4, because it's 2 times 16. We can take out one of those 4's and leave the 2 inside. So the radius equals 4 square root of 2, which if we don't know what that is, we just type it in. 4 times the square root of 2 to get 5.65-ish. So the radius is going to be somewhere like here. And this is going to be our circle. The only difference here was that we had to divide everything so that there wasn't a coefficient in front of x and y. Another type of problem might say, write the standard form of the equation of the circle with the given radius and whose center is the origin. And it'll say, okay, the radius will be something like, I don't know, the square root of 11. Sure. Well, you know the equation is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So in order to plug in the r squared, we just have to square that. This is always going to be different, but square root of 11 squared is just 11. So the standard form of the equation is just simply x squared plus y squared equals r squared, and it told us what r was. We just had to square it. Alright, and finally, this section was really short, I know. It'll say, write the standard form of the equation that passes through the given point and whose center is the origin. So let's say it tells you, okay, it passes through the point 2, negative 5. So we're going to graph that, 2, negative 5. The circle passes through that, so we can draw a circle around it. And we need to know how far that is. Now, to find the distance between 2 points, that's something we talked about in 9.1 using the distance formula. So we're going to find the distance between this point and the center, because if we find the distance, we know what the radius is. We're going to know what r is. Then we can just square it and get the answer. So the distance between 0, 0 and 2, negative 5. So 0, 0, it's an easy one, and 2, negative 5. The distance is equal to the square root of the x's minus each other. So 2 minus 0, so x minus x squared, plus the y's minus each other squared, y negative 5 minus 0 squared. So that's 4 squared, or 2 squared is 4, plus negative 5 squared is 25. Distance equals the square root of 4 plus 25. Distance equals square root of 29. That's also the radius. Square root of 29 is the radius. So we can write the equation really simply. X squared plus y squared equals r squared, which is just going to be 29. If r is square root of 29, then r squared is just going to be 29 without the square root.